Welcome back to Ryan Jacobson Weather. Hope your Friday's off to a great start. Let's hop right into the forecast for today. As you can see, most of the country right now is pretty busy. We got a lot of clouds, a lot of storm systems right now impacting the U.S. We have some scattered showers moving through the northeast and the Midwest today. We still have that atmospheric river up here impacting portions of the West Coast. We also do have that Gulf of Mexico moisture still impacting portions of Texas going into Louisiana, and that's brought some heavy rain over the last couple of days. So let's hop right in the forecast for today. So this is the current setup right now. As you can see, we have a low pressure developing right now over South Dakota. There's the remnants of the thunderstorms that have been impacting portions of Texas really the last 24 hours. We also have just a line of kind of showers and storms right now going through the central U.S., and that'll be going into the northeast this afternoon. You can see light snow showers and rain showers are continuing out west, but no major accumulation is expected from those. This is going to this evening here. You can see the storm really starts to develop. You can see this cold air, warmer boundary is going to be very tight. It's going to be a very tight temperature gradient on where these temperatures are going to set up. So wherever this boundary sets up to the north of it, it's going to be snow. To the south, it's going to be rain. And right on that boundary line, we're expecting some freezing rain. And we could see some heavy freezing rain over the next couple of days. This is going to tomorrow afternoon, and this is really going to kick off our severe weather potential, you could say. This is Saturday night here. We have some thunderstorms popping off across portions of Kansas and Oklahoma. There is a risk for severe weather tomorrow. I don't think it's a very strong risk, but that potential is still out there. We'll go over that here in a second. This is going now into Sunday morning. We still got freezing rain here in the northern Midwest and into the New England region as this kind of secondary low pressure develops here, a little bit stronger than the first. And this is when I think our main spot for severe weather is going to occur here. This is Sunday night, and you can see we're going to have thunderstorms from all the way up into Michigan, all the way down, even maybe to the Gulf of Mexico. So a wide range of thunderstorms, and I think these have the ability to tap into maybe some significant tornado parameters, and there's going to be high humidity out here, and there is going to be some decent winds aloft as well. So I do think, unfortunately, we are looking at another severe weather outbreak going into Sunday. This is now going into Monday here, and you can see these storms continue to the east. This is now going to Monday afternoon. And maybe, I would say, again, I think there's still a possibility for severe weather here across the northeast, the mid-Atlantic, and just the Gulf Coast, just across the coast here going into Monday. I don't think it's going to be as heavy a threat as Sunday, but I still do think we're going to see some scattered damaging winds. Maybe even a brief spin-up tornado or two is possible. Once this gets off the coast, we're finally out of our hairs here by Tuesday morning. We got cooler air dropping in on the backside of this. It looks like it's going to be short-lived, though. I don't know how long this cold air is going to stay here in the Midwest and Northeast. This is now going into Wednesday morning here. We already have another very strong low pressure here developing right out of the Rockies. So it looks like from this storm, we're going right into another large storm system, and there already looks like to be a severe weather risk with this one as well. So we'll continue to watch this, but first got to get through this next storm system ahead. So this is the day 2 storm prediction outlook, and as you can see, we do have a slight risk for severe weather tomorrow. This includes portions of Missouri going into Kansas as well as northern Oklahoma. This is fueled by a little bit of a tornado risk. There's a marginal risk for tornadoes, so I wouldn't be surprised. There's a couple of spin-up tornadoes tomorrow, but again, I'm not expecting anything major from that threat tomorrow. There's a possibility for some winds. And then that hail risk is going to be kind of the driving factor for severe weather tomorrow. We do have a 15% hatched risk for severe hail. So there could be some maybe 2, maybe even a 3-inch size and diameter hail tomorrow. So just be aware if you live in these areas. And this is the day 3 outlook. And as you can see, we already do have an enhanced risk for severe weather. This is a large chunk of the country. Most of the central U.S., this includes the southern Midwest going to the central U.S., going all the way into the Dixie Alley here. This includes portions of Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Tennessee, Kentucky, Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio, just in that enhanced risk So a lot of states are involved in this one, and this risk is spanning all the way up into upstate New York, all the way down into central Texas. So I really do think Sunday is going to have the potential for a widespread severe weather outbreak. You can see we already have that 30% hatched risk for severe weather. We'll get more detail on this as we go into the day 2 risk, and we'll see what that tornado probability is like tomorrow, especially when we get closer to these short range models that are now just starting to come into view for Sunday severe weather. We'll get a lot better picture here on what we can expect over the next 24 hours. This is the day 4 outlook, and as you can see, that slight risk for severe weather continues now into the east. This has even been brought a little bit further north as well, as this goes all the way up into basically right into northern Massachusetts, all the way down to almost Tampa area and Florida. So again, another wide area possible for severe weather going into Monday. Again, it's a slight risk for severe weather. I don't expect it to get as high of a potential for severe weather as Sunday, but I do think some severe weather is still definitely possible going into early next week. Here's your temperatures expected over the next couple of days. Let me play this forward for you guys. Let's go into the highs today. It's going to be pretty nice across most of the country here. We can see it is going to be a very sharp cutoff when that warm air, cool air sets up here. For instance, this is Saturday. This is tomorrow afternoon here. We're looking at highs in southern New York here, 71 for the Jamestown area, 35 for Rochester. So it's going to be a very sharp cutoff where that warm air, cold air sets up here. This is now continuing now into Sunday afternoon here. You can see that warm air continues to get pushed to the east as this low pressure moves through, bringing cooler air on the backside of this low pressure system. And going into Tuesday, it's going to be pretty chilly across most of the country, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get a quick warm up right after that going into the first week of April. Here's the total precipitation expected over the next couple of days. You can still see there's still some areas in Texas today that I could see still an additional couple inches of rain from those thunderstorms, even going into western Louisiana. This is going into Sunday here. There's that first swath of precip, and here's that more major final swap of precipitation. This is through Tuesday here, so a lot of the eastern U.S. is going to see some pretty decent precipitation through this weekend. Here's the total snowfall expected over the next couple of days. Let me play this forward for you guys. This is now going into Saturday here. There's that first round of snow here across portions of northern New York, Vermont, and New Hampshire, and even going into southern Maine. There's kind of that second swath, and that third swath of snow, not as strong as it was showing a couple of days ago. Still, I do think portions of central Wisconsin going into northwestern, Michigan could see a couple of inches of snow, maybe 1 to 3 inches, but not as expected as it was possibly looking a couple of days ago. And then I still think the UP of Michigan here could pick up to a foot of snow from lake enhancement as well. Lastly, here's the freezing rain expected on the European model. This is the newest run. There's that first kind of swath of freezing rain here, and then there's kind of that second swath. And again, the European is still putting out a heavy amount of freezing rain here for northern Wisconsin, northern Michigan, the UP of Michigan, going to northern New York, and basically all of New Hampshire, and going to Vermont and Maine as well. And look at this, they're still putting out totals. This is exceeding almost 2.5 inches, so it still is looking very concerning here for northern Wisconsin. When you get over an inch of freezing rain, it's detrimental. When you get 2 to 3 inches of freezing rain, that's could be catastrophic impacts, especially for northern Michigan here, as well as going into southern Ontario as well. So continue to watch this closely over the next day or so, but unfortunately I do think there is going to be some damaging ice from this system. I thank you guys all for stopping by. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Continue to just keep checking back for daily updates on the weather ahead. I'll just keep bringing you the newest information to this large storm impacting basically most of the eastern U.S. And we'll also continue to look at the weather going into April, as I do think it's going to be a very busy weather pattern going in the first couple of weeks of April, with I feel like maybe a few more severe weather outbreaks possible. It is that time of year, unfortunately. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I will see you guys all in the video tomorrow. Have a good one.